All right, fire them up!
I was told it was going to be a Ryan Coogler film with Michael B. Jordan in it, and there was going to be vampires. Truth be told, I didn't need the vampires. The moment they said Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, they had me. I have to admit, watching Sinners now twice, I'm no longer considering it a horror film. Yet, yes, there's a little bit of gore and there's some blood in it, and it is listed as horror, and it is technically a horror film. But for me, it's way more than that. It's a celebration of blues, black culture in that particular era, and at the same time, there is these so many layers of allegory that is just thrown into it. I mean, yeah, I mean, nowadays allegory is usually something about Trump, racism, all the big things, but there's so much more to it. It is just a completely different type of film than I was expecting. And that's a good thing because we have a lot of films nowadays that are very predictable, still good, still fun to watch, but most of the films now are just very, very predictable. So, as I stated, this is a Ryan Coogler film. It is an absolute original film. This is not based on any book or any type of other idea or any other film that we've seen before. And it stars Michael B. Jordan actually playing twin roles. He's playing two brothers, twin brothers, obviously, Smoke and Stack, the Smokestack brothers. Yeah, we see where you got the name. I like where his head was at. And they are former gangsters who used to work for Al Capone in Chicago, and now they've gone back south into Mississippi to open up a juke joint and to spend some of that hard-earned cash. And we know where they got it from if they were working with Al Capone. And they're going to open up a juke joint, and then by later on in the film, vampires get thrown into the mix. I don't want to do a whole lot of spoilers because I really do want you to go see the film and be surprised on your own. But it is a vampire film that takes the mythology and twists it into something completely different. And I got to admit, if anybody else was doing this, I don't think it would work. And that's a testament to just how good Ryan Coogler is as a director and as a writer and as a film auteur. He knows what he's doing with the things that he's trying to do. And I don't think, honestly, anybody else could do it. And quite frankly, I don't think he could have done this with any other people in the cast that he had, starting with Michael B. Jordan. Obviously, this is not the first time that they've worked with together on a film. Ryan Coogler has had him in, I want to say, 3 other films before this one now, most notably Fruitvale Station, a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. So they actually know each other very well. So to direct him in this film, even with Michael B. Jordan playing 2 different roles, that just meshes together really well. And I'm glad that those 2 are back together. What can you say about Delroy Lindo, one of the OG actors, been in Hollywood for such a long time? Shout out to him because there are many actors in his age group that will take a role and just halfway mail it in to get a paycheck. But I can say that I have never seen a Delroy Lindo role where he's the same as anything he's done before it. And this honestly is no exception. He is very much a completely different character than I've seen him play in anything else. Every single thing I've seen him in, I like him in, and it's always something different. And I think that is a conscious decision by himself to say, okay, hey, is this role like anything I've played before? If it's not, then okay, let's give it a shot. And if it is, he will really just pass on it, which is why you don't see him in a ton of films. But then when you go look at his IMDb, it's like, oh yeah, he wasn't that. Oh yeah, and he wasn't that. And then you look at the roles and it's like, well, yeah, they are all vastly different. And I am just amazed at how good he actually is. But the big actor, honestly, is Miles Catton, and it's just fantastic. And the fact that that is his first role, this is his first role that he's been in, period. His first acting gig whatsoever. And he's next to Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan. He's under Ryan Coogler. And most of the movie, when he's on scene, he's stealing the show. I'm sorry. That kid is going to have such a long, prosperous career if this is the type of work we're going to get from him. And once you see the movie, if you haven't seen it, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And, saying all of that is to not take anything away from Michael B. Jordan. Playing 2 roles, playing twin brothers is hard enough as it is. So there is always this atmosphere and this chance that he could have just really played up one of the two twins and just made it almost like a caricature, but he doesn't. There's enough of a difference in the two roles that he's playing for you to say, yeah, this is two different people, even though they are being played by one person. But these are two vastly different people. But there's enough cohesion of the two where it's like, okay, yeah, they're different, but you can tell that they're brothers. Never mind that they look alike. Even if they didn't look alike, you say, okay, yeah, those are brothers. And that's a credit to Michael B. Jordan. That's something that you really don't get in a lot of Hollywood films when you have one person playing two roles. Usually you'll have one that's straight, just played straight, and you'll have the other character being just a complete offshoot, something very wild, something completely off the wall. And that's usually how it goes. But to credit him, both characters feel nuanced and complete, and they are so different, but at the same time, they have so many similarities between the two. It's almost like you're saying, well, this isn't one person playing two roles. This is literally just twins, and these are their personalities. So, credit to him and everybody in that cast. This entire cast is just fantastic, top to bottom. Haley Steinfeld, and all of the other ladies, every last one of them, absolutely great. Can't say enough about the cast. I was talking earlier when I said that doesn't feel like a horror movie, even though there is some gore and some blood to it. I really want to punch that home because there are people who probably are going to try to skip out on the movie because they don't like scary movies. They don't like horror films. But there's enough of a just a straight film to where I honestly think all you little scaredy cats, you can still go see this film and not be completely creeped out and be completely thrown off. Yes, like I said, there is blood, there's some gore, and it's a vampire film. It has vampires in it and they do their vampire thing. But there's enough of a not gore and not blood to sit there and watch this movie. So when it does come around, it's not going to be so heavy that it makes you want to, run out of the theater in terror. So this is a scaredy cat approved movie. Believe me, I suggest highly that if you are one of those people who tend to shy away from horror films, you still give this movie a shot. And I don't believe it'll be so much where you be turned off to not wanting to watch it. Visually, this is probably the best looking film I've seen in quite a few years. And to think that there's CGI in it, I want to say there's a tiny bit, but it's not very noticeable. It's a lot of practical effects, and they all work very well. And outside of just the effects and how the vampires look and how everything handles itself when it comes to the blood and the gore, the aspect and how this movie is shot, I didn't get a chance to see it in IMAX, but just being in a regular theater setting, I don't think I've ever seen a film look like this. I don't think I've ever seen a film be this beautiful in the aspect that it was shot. This is visually one of the most stunning films I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot because I've seen a lot of movies in my lifetime and they do look great. But outside of movies with tons of special effects, like take The Creator. I raved about how great the special effects looked. And if you do special effects right, it looks real and it looks awesome. This film blows that out of the water. This film visually, it's its own thing. The music is its own thing, but visually, just to sit and watch this movie, if you were to sit and watch it with just the music and no dialogue, you would have it'd be a great documentary on how to shoot a film and to make it look great without overdoing it and at the same time not underdoing it. And I know a lot of films that have done both. They've gone to the extreme in one way or another, never really finding that balance, but this one does. And again, that's a complete credit to Ryan Coogler and how he shoots film. If you have a chance, look on Instagram and go on his page where he has an Instagram post where it's him talking about just the film that they use, the type of film that there is to be used, and how he decided on what film they were going to use, and how the aspects of the film changes as they go back and forth between these two aspects, and how they meld together at the same time to make the film look the way it does. It is a fantastic study. It's something I did not know anything about. And now just watching him talk about it on that Instagram post, which is probably about 4 to 5 minutes long, I want to say, now it makes me want to study how film is shot, the type of film and how the film is used to make it look the way it does. And I knew a little, but that crash course lesson he gives is just something phenomenal. He is an absolute phenomenal director. So if you get a chance, go look at that Instagram post. In the end, what you have is a film that celebrates the blues, celebrates black culture. It has allegory and layers upon layers. And like I said, I've seen it twice, and I think I'm going to have to go back and watch it a third time to find little tidbits that I know for a fact that I have now missed. This is a front runner right now for me for probably the best movie of 2025. If there's another movie that comes out that's better than this year, I'll be surprised. This is absolutely the front runner. It's already had 60 million worldwide over its first weekend, and that was Easter weekend when most people aren't going to the movies. Number one, and when they do go to the movies, they're going to see family type of films. But the first weekend, most people skipped out on the two family films that were released and went to see this instead. So I'm expecting that this weekend coming up, it's going to go right back to that number. It may even shoot past that 60 million on its second weekend, which is crazy because the financials to what this film is, it benefits Ryan Coogler. And we're going to do a complete breakdown of that in a separate video because it's wild about the deal he struck in order to get this film done. It's too much to go through right now, but just make sure you're tuned in and we'll go through that film. This is, for me, I understand if most people will not understand and will not agree with me, but this is a 9 out of 10. Honestly, this film is beautiful to watch. The story is excellent. It's well directed. Actors are phenomenal. Music is phenomenal. Everything about this movie is damn near perfect. I'm like I said, I'm expecting this movie to double the money that it's already made, at the very least, double it. But we shall see what happens this coming weekend, and I'm absolutely going to keep track of it as it goes. But that's Sinners. Have you seen it? And tell me what you think of it down in the comments. And tell me if you're going to go see it now that I've told you if you haven't seen it. And like I said, if you're a scaredy cat and you don't really particularly like horror films, I still think you should go see this film. I don't think it's so bad where you can't sit and watch it. I remember being younger and didn't like horror films either. And then I kind of got used to it. And this is tame compared to a lot of horror films that we've seen over the past just 4 or 5 years. So this is tamer than a lot of those. I really believe that everybody can go see this movie. I mean, don't take your kids. You don't want to freak them out or nothing like that. But this is a really good movie, and I think everybody should see it. But again, down in the comments, tell me what you think about it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe right here and over on our Instagram page at @the_tweakle_pod. And I'll see you in the next video, and we shall end this one the same way we end all videos. God bless. I love you, and peace. See you next time.